have a plan for Kostya once we find him?
Kostya's already proven himself an enemy of Solace. Whatever you choose to do with him after is fine with me. The sluice gates are just ahead. Kostya's probably already there. Let's move. Lava's rising. We have to stop this now. Getting hotter down here by the moment.
Good, you're here. Help me destroy this witch. We can't risk someone turning and opening the gates. If the keep falls so that we might live, so be it. I figured you might have. Bloodthirsty. You people just can't help yourselves. Me, specifically? No. I only provided them access to material from the living archives. The books and records that the novice brought to them were what revealed the secret. By the way, is that novice still alive? I see. And what of the Steel Garrote? Should I assume they're all dead as well? Guilty as charged. I was the one guiding Dora. Mihala's sin is that despite her preoccupation with traditions and oaths, she has no curiosity. I had all the time to figure out what books I needed to acquire for the Steel Garrote. Then I had Dona, our young novice, steal them from the archives for the Steel Garrote. I assume you didn't let the Steel Garrote or the Inquisitor survive their search. And so you brought it back here? Among the Wardens? It doesn't matter how it works. It was not present in the tusks until your people arrived. Oh, perhaps this is right. Another reason to destroy this place and go. This is how it should be. So long as the keep stands, my people are trapped here. Doomed by an oath to a dead man. Our people were nomads for ages until we built the keep. When it falls, we'll be free to explore the world again. I will not watch my people rot here for the sake of a pointless oath. My conviction only grows stronger, envoy. Nandru never wanted what was best for us. He built us a tomb and abandoned us to it. Do not speak his name to me as if it could mean anything to you. Ha! Finally! Proof she's got a spine. Well, envoy, now's your chance. Are you going to be a good little minion and do as she asked? Or will you let me save my people from themselves?
Well, he has a point. But it's not worth letting Solace fall to prove it.
You, of all people, are speaking in favor of the suffocating grasp of tradition.
I'm talking about not destroying our ancestral home just because you don't like Nandru. You're just as blinded by those traditions as Mihala. Have the courage to leave if you want, but don't force everyone else to.
and grow anew. A flow to purge the weight. We twine.
That is all I ask.
You can't be Blessed serious.
You should hurry on with your task. The lava's rising quickly now. Safe travels to the garden. You'll find your entrance just past this door. I suspect you're the only one aside from Nandru who can open it.
Absolmaluva Wing-2, Envoy. You are lucky I don't feel like fighting another Adiran right now.
Come on, boy. Let's free these folks from their past, shall we?
Done. Solace is safe. Thank the gods.
Did the keep look as confining?
Nice job, everyone.
The keep is beautiful. Like a gilded carriage.
Closer. We have waited so long.
I feel crazy saying this, but Kostya was right. We should have let Solace Keep fall.
Crazy is one word for it. You really think you can just burn down someone's ancestral home?
Dearie, the keep isn't a home. It's a prison. And now the Pargrunen will never escape.
Solace is my home. I still don't get why any of you feel like you have a say in this.
But you left.
Because I chose to. Kostya doesn't get to make that decision for everybody.
If Kostya doesn't, Mihala will.
Civilization, as we know it, hasn't existed in the Living Lands for very long. We need to preserve what history we have.
Darling, You know I hate to think of losing all of that history more than anyone. But think of what they could have gained. Maxim left the Republics, and it allowed Animancers in Fjord to thrive.
Destroying our home is not starting something new.
You really think everyone in Solace is there willingly? Amalia and her people took up arms and turned to banditry, and they still weren't allowed to leave. If anything, I imagine Mihala and her traditionalists will only make it harder to leave now. You know your own mind. There's something to be said for that.
True. And you've a date with the gods soon. We can only hope that you'll make better decisions.
And that's not all. Not to spoil the moment with good news, but I doubt the rest of the island has been quiet while we've been looking for the garden. Things have only gotten more tense since Fjord, and the Steel Garrote probably hasn't been doing us any favors on that front.
Especially when they're led by a woman who doesn't seem interested in staying dead. Not to mention, after we take care of the Envoy's little god problem, we'll still have an empire bearing down on us.
At least on the battlefield, you can count on getting stabbed in the front.
Can't say I'm too excited about just walking into the garden. I grew up learning I needed to protect that place, but it never felt like more than a children's tale to me.
I hear you. This island is weird enough when all we have to worry about are vengeful plans and soul-altering corruption.
Am I the only one who's looking forward to the garden? We're pioneers, stepping into the great unknown, a land of mystery.
We have to remember to love them in spite of their lack of proper enthusiasm, dearie.
Death is always certain. It's only a question of timing. I have a theory about the garden, or a warning, depending on how you want to look at it. Sapadal has been imprisoned a long time. The garden will be a reflection of their dreams, their nightmares, their madness.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw visions or hallucinations, and not even the fun kind.
Sanity won't get us through the garden. Madness opens the mind to discovery. So madness is what we need right now. Before we go any further, I have to ask you something. You told the Inquisitor that you intend to free Sapadal. Set them loose upon the world. Is that still the plan? You're not the only one. Sapadal is responsible for the spiritual health of the living lands, and the island has suffered for it. No matter what the Inquisitor said, I don't believe there's a right or wrong choice to make here. Just the one you believe in.
It's easier that way. For a while.
Remember, we're stepping into a realm that is both physical and spiritual in nature. If you can call it nature. There's no telling how long we'll be gone. For all we know, time could run backwards in the garden.
Not a chance. We're a crew now, so you're stuck with me until the end. Marius?
I told you I'd be with you till the end. I don't go back on my promises. What about you, Giada?
You're not going into the garden without me. I have to see this with my own eyes. Yatsli, if you feel like running back to Quilici, now would be the time. No one would think less of you.
And tell Quilici that I missed out on the most exciting part.
And you don't have to. We pull together, and that's plenty.
I plan on wandering the garden whether I'm traveling with you or not. I have to find out what the big deal is.
Agreed. I'm not waiting in camp while the rest of you have all the fun. Hope to see you out there, Marius.
Well, let's go then. We can't keep your god waiting.
I was perfectly fine assuming this place was a legend. Now it's too blessed real. Good. I mean, I'm glad I'm not the only one. I didn't want to lose my swill in front of Animancy Queen and the Fishman. I've never been comfortable with things I can't explain. If there isn't a poultice for it, I don't want it. I'd rather just grit my teeth and push through this whole thing. I'm completely out of my depth. Right. I've survived this long by avoiding creepy magic stuff that gives me the vrikas. Don't worry about me, Envoy. I know why we're here, and I told you I'd guide you wherever you wanted to go. Even places like this. Yeah. Me too. Now, can we talk about something less fuzzy? I'm getting a headache. Anyway. Not before I've done some reading.
So, this is it. The spiritual epicenter of the living lands. Where it all began, and where it all ends. For so long I have looked out on a horizon full of possibilities. Now that it's here, I'm too scared to breathe. Ah, why am I so anxious? I suppose you're right. I'm frightened, I'm excited. I'm a lot of things right now. Do you remember when Manto Pastor sent you after the heart of an Adragan? That was nothing compared to this. We are standing in the beating heart of the living lands. Just imagine what we can do with it. And only one chance to get it right. My parents were going to build a better world for Animancers. That dream was their legacy to me. You and I have come farther than they did. To an impossible place where anything can happen. Anything. I'll try to remember that. I don't know what's going to happen, but you've had my back since the beginning. I won't forget it. Well, that depends. I know a few spooky stories about the living lands. They may or may not have anything to do with the garden.
Okay, but if something goes bump in the night, I'm waking you up.
Let me think of a good one. There are so many, I can't decide. Which do you want to hear first? I know one about a ranger's dream, one about a haunted well, and one about a golden city. One sunny day, a ranger took a nap in the woods of Emerald Stair. He awoke to a forest of dead trees, the night sky full of unfamiliar stars. After getting his bearings, he walked in the direction of Fior Messivernal, but the settlement was gone. In its place was the most beautiful garden, hills bursting with flowers, the grass as soft as Valian silk. Enchanted by this vision, he bent to pick a rose, but its thorn cut like a knife, severing 3 fingers. Then, a voice filled his head, shouting, "Go now, before the land takes you, body and soul." He awoke in his own bed, a wilted rose clutched in his 2-fingered hand. It's nonsense, of course, but that's why I like it. Who could rest at a time like this? I must admit, I had my doubts about Solace. It was like a dungeon, except the wardens were the prisoners. You could have helped Kostya destroy the keep, but you left it standing. Why? Thank you for that. Even if Solace isn't going anywhere, I think your arrival was a sign of changes to come. Wherever you go, you break people out of their habits. You banish the old ways. Or perhaps you don't give yourself enough. Wherever that power comes from, whether it's your heritage or political status, it's a terrible burden. I don't envy you, but at least you keep things interesting. If I must. Let me get this straight. You spoke to the spirit of Nandru, a godlike, same as you. What did he say? Any advice? Any words of encouragement? Oh. I take it that wasn't what you expected. I should have seen this coming. Never listen to the dead. They're cynical, full of regret, and determined to make us all miserable. Thankfully, you're still alive. Fate is in your hands. What happened to Nandru was ages ago. Plenty of time to reconsider one's choices. No one is closer to Sapadal than you are. Nandru lost that privilege when he died, which means you alone can judge the god of the living lands. Your opinion is the one that counts. That's all right. When the time comes, you'll figure it out. For what it's worth, I think you're going to be fine. No matter what you do about Sapadal, it can't get any worse. I wish I could say the same for the living lands. Pleasant dreams.
I can hear my heartbeat in my ears. Or is that actual drums? Anyway. Thanks for talking.
Does anyone want to share a scary story?
Don't know if I have any answers, but we can talk. Anyway. If I must.
Let... me think. Does anyone want to share a scary story?
No.
Gods no.
Looks like a dead end. Oh, I stand corrected.
Ready, aim. Is he really an artist? I'd actually like him.
Bad envoy. here? As if this chaotic ore. I be safe!
I was just getting warmed up. Is that all you got?
Couldn't have done it better. Good shooting, Kai.
Aye, aye. Oof, I can hear my heartbeat in my ears. Or is that actual drums? Anyway, let's make sure they're not listening. You already asked about Giada, so you probably want to talk about Kai or Yatsley. I don't know. Things have changed a bit, I guess. She's not so bad. I mean, she's loud and impulsive and always trying to get herself killed, and she keeps saying things to get a rise out of me, Envoy. But, joke's on her. No one's gotten a rise out of me in years. But other than that, we can get along. She can be sweet, too, when she's not introducing me to a new word from my oak and acorns. Until next time.
A breath held. Trepidation. You are close, yet distant still. Your soul is small. The essence weighs like the sea on your chest. We feel the pressure, darkness, yet somehow strengthened resolve. We wonder. The deer leaps at its reflection in the lake. You have defied our expectations at every turn. Perhaps we should not have been. The sky is green. The fish breathes air. We can no longer imagine. We would run, roll with the tide, sink our fingers into new earth. Whisper in the fields, lift the hills gently in our hands. Disturb the dirt, but spare the blooms. Shake the roots slowly. Vengeance denied, squandered. This cannot be. We spoke of flowers. We speak of freedom when the hand still clasps around our throat. Wake now. Find us.
I see the disciple has found her way into the cell.
No. We know this voice, this presence, sneering at us through our prison bars.
I culled your rot from this land before. I will do it again. I am Mordecai, the Oathbinder, goddess of order, vengeance, and law. I speak for the gods of all Aora. You question our purpose? Search inside yourself.
Out. Out. Her voice pierces our skin.
Look at this place. A quagmire of your parasite's worst instincts. Can you even begin to grasp the forces that you tamper with? Hell? It has forged the iron of its own restraints. Do you think you're special, with your god's thorn in your side? Do you believe you can hold dominion over chaos itself? When even the collective fury of the real gods could only confine the sniveling creature to this wasteland. I have merely told the truth that does not suit you.
It is true. She twists the knife. The seas run red with memory.
In time, the gods felt the wretched powers seeping through this land. Its madness would consume us all if it was not contained. Chaos has no respect for borders. It goes where it will. A pity that its followers could not be reasoned with. The poor godless, worshipping the very thing that subsumed them. We could not excise the rot and spare the roots that nourished it. You know the trials of battle. You cannot pass judgment on me. They bring law from ashes. Your tyrant destroys for its own sake.
We moved the earth and sky to stop her. We did not mean this.
Listen to its tantrum. It knows neither order nor sense. Adir is the only thing holding back the tide of entropy. The answer is obvious to those with the courage to accept it. You are here now. There's still time to succeed where Ludwig failed. Face your false god and end its reign of terror permanently. Your soul, it is tethered to you. Only you can siphon its essence into yourself. Very well. I cannot force a child to bend to my will. But I will not stand by and watch you undo my work. You should have thought more carefully before you broke your oath to the Empire. Let this be a lesson to you.
Never understood Wodika's appeal. Still don't.
That's it. From now on, I pray to no god. didn't move. Wish there was time to study. It kills us.
Here we go! That's one for us. What is that? I know that place, right? Oh no. No. Why is this? Gods. I can't. What's happening here?
This is the moment I found you, bundled and crying, while our parents died.
Viate. You're not here. You can't be here.
I am dead, Viate, from the Dream Scourge. We are in the garden. As strange as this seems, it is normal here.
Iancu. Viate. I left you behind when I left Solace.
And I've found you once again, old friend.
You? No. What kind of blessed brain scramble is this?
This place is Pedraku in many ways. This may be among the least of it.
Oh, I have faced this already. Why force me to do it again? Then for the gods' sake, what is it? I am exhausted, Viate. I can't take much more of this.
You know where we are. This is my memory. When everyone died, and I found you back in your tent. How much of this do you remember? I can't tell from your eyes.
Oh, not much. I only remember fear, and sadness, and you as a kid picking me up and taking me to Solace. This is... I remember it, but I don't. I can't do this. I can't.
Sapadal wants to understand. They know your envoy very well, but not the people next to them.
I can't do this, Iancu. I forgot this for a reason.
And that's why you're here, Nimdut. You can't face a god with piles of Saka in your soul. Even when we were children, you kept me alive, first by needing my protection, and then by being who you turned out to be. When you left Solace, it was like I lost more than my best friend. I lost my need to live.
You kept everything a secret from me. All that time. A best friend doesn't do that.
I thought I was protecting you. We all were. Why expose a child to such a traumatic event?
You handled it just fine.
Did I? Look at me. Name a single day when those memories didn't hold me back. I was afraid every day. I needed you to ground me.
I never realized what you were dealing with. Gods, I'm sorry, Viate. So, what do we do now?
I feel strongly that there's nothing left to forgive.
Easier said than accepted, Viate. Forgiving myself is the hardest part. I don't know. I can't. It's too much. Not this and everything else too. It's too blessed much.
I understand that, Viate. I really do. I'm glad to hear it. Marius is worth the effort, I promise you.
Don't listen to him, Envoy. If he knew anything at all, he wouldn't be dead.
Get out of here. Hike up your waistline and go talk to a god. They'll be waiting.
Well, it was good to see you, Viate. Even with all this.
Take care of my little friend, Envoy. He needs you more than he'll say.
They're coming!
Next one's mine!
You're bleeding!
Stay on your toes.
Not saying a word. Subtle as a mouse.
Quiet as the depths.
hungry. I recognize this. It belongs to Tama.
You seen this too? No. No. This can't be. This room. It looks just like Tama's. Tama. No. I dealt with this. We stood at his memorial together. What is this, Envoy? This is your god's prison, not mine. It feels like I'm standing on a storm-tossed deck. I can't focus on his face. His features keep blurring, changing. As long as we're both seeing the floating islands and the ghostly tree, I can't blame this on drugs. To be honest, that would be easier. I know it's him, but I don't recognize him as the Tama I knew. It's like he keeps changing in front of me. Does that make sense? That's the problem. I can't picture him anymore. I used to remember his face so clearly from that night. His rigid jaw, the way his eyes crinkled at the corners. He was in pain, but trying to hide it. I see everything. All his moments at once. Joy, sadness, anger, heartbreak, stomachache. Everything from the handful of years that I knew him and the decades before we'd met. He's almost a stranger. I'm not. All this time I kept him frozen in his worst moment. When he was suffering and when I failed him. But now that I see him as more, it's like he's free of that. You're right. I am. It's like you said. His memory is no longer a burden. For the longest, I was afraid to let go of this moment, like I'd be letting him go if I did. And now I see I was just holding on to something that was weighing us both down. Better than I could have said it. I never thought I'd meet someone I respect the way I respected Tama. But you've made some tough calls, and you've kept your head and your heart in the right place. So whatever comes next, I'm with you until the end. Now let's go find this god of yours and end the dream scourge. When we reach them, what do you think we'll find? A victim? A villain? True enough. Let's end this. I'll follow your lead, as always. Ready, aim.
Mine now! Everyone okay?
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Or am I going mad? What is the meaning of this? It can't be real. This is an illusion. A joke. Tell me we're both seeing the same thing. I hate it. Why am I cursed to see this again? Why does the memory follow me wherever I go? They have a sick sense of humor. Whoever is responsible, I'm tired of the bullshit. Step forward and answer for yourself, coward!
Godlike of Sapadal, long have we awaited you.
Finally, you've come home.
This is almost as bad as Ringram's creepy sculptures.
Oh my gods. They're alive? How? Where would I even begin?
Giada Castel, welcome.
Wait, you know me? How do you know me?
For centuries, our whispers filled the silence. Then we heard your mother's call.
My mother? You heard her?
She reached out to us, using the tool you now carry.
But that would have been years ago. The first time she used the phantasmal focus. The only time she used it.
We heard, and Sapadal answered, saying in a great voice, "We are here. You have found us."
But when Sapadal speaks, the living lands trembles. The voice of a god can be a terrible thing.
No, this can't be. What exactly happened to my parents? Tell me, please. I need to know.
Sapodal wanted to be heard, and in so doing, twisted your family in body and soul, broke them into a more suitable shape.
Sapodal does not know the limits of their strength. Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made? Do you have any idea what my life has been since your little mistake?
After the incident, your parents were like us, and we took pity, so we helped them move on, as they wanted.
In the end, they thought only of you, their pride, and their love.
That's it. That's really it. The answer I've been searching for all these years. Sapodal destroyed my family. I don't hold you responsible. I don't even know if I hold Sapodal responsible. Your god has the intelligence of a scatterbrained goat, but that isn't their fault. It's simply how they came into being. I know they are. My mother and father would not have wanted this. A good Animancer embraces death, and they were the best.
We are companions, toys, diversions. Sapodal fashioned us out of dreams and memories.
I can't believe it never occurred to me. They're animats. Ancient vessels held together with duty and loyalty. Their design is unusual. Organic, much like the garden itself. Sapodal's work. All this time, your god has been making imaginary friends. Drawing pictures on the walls of their cell. It's almost too sad to imagine. One final question, spirits. What is this? Why are you trying to ruin my life again? Is this your way of haunting me? What is it you want?
That's 4 questions.
We want to apologize on Sapodal's behalf, and for the part we played in your sorrow.
They want to apologize. I came to the garden for answers, not to offer forgiveness. Shit. This is going to hurt. Sapodal has been trapped here for millennia. Alone. Confused. Screaming into the void for anyone who will listen. When they heard the voice of a stranger, they overreacted. How can I hold that against you? Apology accepted.
Thank you, Giada. And thank you, Godlike, for bringing her all this way.
The time has come for you to find your patron, as you were meant to. May the living lands receive you with open arms. Farewell.
Goodbye. We need to talk about this, but not here.
This feels like one of those times when getting answers doesn't mean getting closure. Incredible.
I should have brought my sketchbook.
Nice shot! Coming from the rear.
Couldn't have done it better. Enemy on the right.
They won't get past me!
I was worried for a second.
here all the yesterdays before. The shale rises to smother us. Keep them out. Keep us in. We feel no spark of the Tabaris Inachus in this place. We cannot see it through their eyes. We slumber here, alone. The eagle's flight, the lion's roar. They took it all away. A tide of souls thrown upon the wheel. The ground gives way. We fall. Now our memory is a wound reopened. They came suddenly. The stillness of night split by grinding steel. We had no time to speculate. First, they blinded us. Shining eyes pierced the concealing dark. Then they burned. Smoke ensnared the moonlight. The Akita screamed. No! We saw a terrible design in the roaring flames. They had carved a path to the temple. We were their true prey. A jug to catch water. We overflowed. We persisted. We were everywhere. How could they cull the wind? How could they trap the stars? Then they turned to what the Akita had made. They toppled the statues. They set the libraries ablaze. They could not kill us. They would curse us to oblivion. The Akita howled. They died. We cried out, sundered soul by soul. We broke the earth, called down the storm, flung lightning from our hands. But they marched on. We grew tired. In fury, we exposed ourselves. Weakened, they advanced on us, they struck. They raised machines, we tried to tear down the garden's walls. Then, nothing. We floated in a great glass eye. The fog closed in on us. We reached out, but the machines held us in. We could not feel the new day's sun play in the shifting tide. The cities crumbled. We could not save them. We could not save ourselves. Their cries, swords in our heart, a severed limb. We watched helplessly for aeons. Until you. We are the lamp, the bonfire, forces to be controlled. The wound numbs now. We watch as the river of time expands. In the silence of our prison we find clarity. How many voices lost? How many saplings have we cut down? We sink into the endless night. Perhaps we should be here. Shoots in a barren forest. We must find a way to change. We were ignorant once. We will not make the same mistake. Soil stirs. We have a new memory of this place. You opened the final lock, entered the hidden glade. You listened. You stand at a cliff now. We watch your footsteps carefully. We twine together. We reach for the sky. We grow. We grow. We grow.
Protect the envoy!
Back on my feet. Watch your left.
They're coming!
Nothing like a win with a good team.
Anyone? Absolutely not.
I'm starting to think these people killed themselves off.
We survived. Somehow. If you don't mind.
There's always a weird sort of quiet on the eve of battle. I'm feeling that now. Seems like a good time to gather our thoughts and share a drink before whatever's coming.
Right. This seems like a perfect place to stop and relax.
Though it's hard enough to tell what's real here without a belly full of drink.
Sounds like you're nervous, dearie.
I'm feeling all kinds of ways. Anxious, excited, scared, hungry.
I feel it as well. It is only mortal to feel overwhelmed in the presence of the immortal.
Oh, you don't have to worry about me. Getting to see that vision of Tama did me good. Like, I finally let go of something I'd been holding too long. Now that we're here, I'm eager to see this through. Nothing worse than holding your breath and waiting. I can't say that I'm prepared, but I'm ready.
Had a feeling you might ask me that. I'm not sure I've really worked through what I've seen here, but I am grateful for the chance to see Yonku again. I feel like we're almost done with all of this, but we are in the weirdest place in the world, so who knows? I'm completely baffled, but when haven't I been lately? Being afraid doesn't even feel scary anymore.
I think so. The garden is so much more than I expected. Full of contradictions. Wild, yet serene. Truthfully, I didn't come all this way searching for my own answers. But I found them. Or perhaps they found me. And now, it's like there's a new path laid out before me. A life after the Dream Scourge. We're close to something. A threshold between calm and crisis. Conflict and peace. Life and death. So am I. None of us could have gotten this far on our own.
Well, I won't lie to you, Envoy. A lot's happened. But here we are. I just need a moment to take it all in. Thank you, dearie. I'll be ready by the time the fun starts. And I wouldn't worry. Our little group here is perfectly frightening, and I'm sure our enemies would agree. We'll be fine. I can't speak for anyone else, though.
You've listened to all of us. How about you? You've been through a lot since you arrived. You've been shipwrecked and assassinated, harangued by gods, bureaucrats, and a death guard. You've had your soul poked, your loyalties questioned, and your sleep regularly interrupted by a god with no respect for privacy. And yet you've kept yourself and all of us together. How are you really doing?
But we all know better. You're strong enough to survive anything. Zapadal picked a good soul when they made you.
That actually made sense to me. As if I've learned something about souls and whatnot.
I'll take that as a compliment.
How about you, Envoy? What keeps you so stoic in the face of everything?
Perhaps you don't need to understand. Your natural instincts are working hard enough.
When we first met, I didn't think you'd last long. But then I saw how you handled that dream thrall bear. Shook off your own death like a bad cold. And then you confronted your own killer and let him go. It takes a special kind of strength to stay your hand in a moment like that.
I didn't know much about you at that point. You were traveling with Kai and you died, which I thought made a lot of sense.
I remember your calm. How you listened to my shouting match with the governor and actually heard me. And when they burned my home, you gave me another one. A sanctuary where I could be myself. I'll never forget that.
You were my hero right away. You rescued me from those sporlings. You got my priceless vase. What more could a girl ask for?
And now look at you. Look at us. How far we've come in a short time. Quite a lot, as it turns out. But the journey is worth it.
Not to raise the sails before the anchor, but we left trouble in our wake. Fjord, Thirdborn, Solace. If we make it out of here, it won't be to a living lands suddenly at peace.
Just this once. Could we forget about the rest of the living lands? Some of us could use a break.
Oh, that doesn't mean it's Giada's scary story time, does it?
I thought my stories were insightful.
If we can't take a moment to ourselves on a floating island outside reality, then I don't know where we can.
Right. We could all use some beauty rest. We'll want to look our best on the battlefield, won't we?
Before we turn in for the night, I'd like a word in private. Nothing serious, just planning out the rest of my life.
Get some sleep. There'll be plenty of time for sentiment and hugging later. I came here to help you do whatever you're supposed to do with your god friend. Instead, I'm here talking to dead people. Difficult. I've had necrotic toes that were easier to deal with. I will say, it's not really what I expected when I started tracking you and Kai back in Paradise. No, I was thinking more in terms of hunting for wild game and peeing on Kai to put the fires out. It's been a bit of a ride, Envoy. I feel like it's coming to an end. One way or another. I think maybe this is all for the best. No matter what happens. Maybe all of this will be worth it. We have a lot to do, Envoy. Maybe we should get to it.
All this time, I thought my parents died in a freak accident. An experiment gone awry. A mistake. And in a way, they did. But it wasn't their mistake. It was Zapadal's. Generous? Perhaps. Until I knew the whole story, there was never anyone to blame. This whole experience has me considering my family's work in a different light. Look at what my mother accomplished. Armed with her research and her wits, she found a god. When you speak to a god, it's nothing. Barely a reflex. But for the rest of us, it's unimaginable. No animancer can live up to that. Certainly not me. I thought their legacy was a curse, and I could only break it by completing their work. I was wrong. I suppose I have been all this time. I just never realized it. One thing is certain. When it comes to animancy, I need to unlearn some of my old assumptions. I wanted to tame the spirit of the living lands. Now, there's so much about it I don't understand. And it's creepy, but wonderful. Perhaps, as long as no one gets in my way. I believe the power flowing out of the garden drove this island mad. That has to end. Through animancy, we could help the living lands recover. It would take a lifetime, maybe more, but that's a small price to pay. Then again, who am I to interfere with an ecosystem that I barely understand? On the other hand, half the fun of animancy is stirring the pot and getting into trouble. I think I know what I want, but there are too many variables to consider. What do you think? I have a lot of catching up to do, and plenty of room to grow. But I think you're right. So be it. Starting today, I don't have to live up to anyone's example. Animancy can be whatever I make of it. I knew they would be. And not just because some ancient plans told me so. Now I just have to decide which field of research to pursue. But no need to bore you with the details. I've only got one lifetime as Giada Castel, so I'd better make it count. Hey, you helped me through a very difficult time. I just wanted to say thank you.
You're good with the animancy stuff.
When you find Sapadal, I hope you tell him how much I love what they've done with this place. I'm a man of hidden depths. What's not to love about floating islands and a spectral tree? Besides, as divine prisons go, I can imagine much worse. True enough. Makes me wonder if confinement was the real goal, or simply the only option at the time. One thing's for sure, imprisonment has only riled Sapadal up. Judging from their outbursts at Mount Forja and Nakukubel, they haven't exactly taken this time to reflect and relax. Aha. I've heard that one before. Usually before a lot of tears, a lot of drinks, and a lot of, I should have known better. Still, you taught me that a person can grow beyond their flaws. Why wouldn't the same be true of a god? I hope you're right, because we are all in trouble if you're wrong. You know, if Sapadal were only a smuggler, assassin, or bandit, I'd be right there with you. But knowing they could end us all with a temper tantrum puts things in perspective. I guess we've all got our limits. And I don't envy you having to deal with the loose cannon of a god. But I envy even less the mess you're going to have when, we escape this place. While we're tracking down your god, things are heating up between your Adiran comrades and the locals. Yeah, you've got bigger things on your mind right now. Just be prepared. If and when we get out of here, we're walking into a powder keg. And you'll have to choose a side. That's the part I don't envy. I don't. And for what it's worth, I wouldn't blame you for choosing that. Fighting kin and country folk is a hard thing to ask of anyone. It's part of why I came out here. I lost my stomach for Rawatai's campaign and the Deadfire. But I wasn't going to turn insurgent against my own people either. I don't mean to burden you. It's late, and you've still got a god to face. Just know that whatever you choose, I'll fight alongside you. I'm with you to the end of this. Anytime. Good night, Envoy. Hey, Giada. How are you holding up after seeing those, plant people?
Well, I've seen